Hey guys, Lynx here, and today we're going to be looking at some tips and tricks to improve your gameplay in Breachers VR. Tip number 1. Use the shooting range. A lot of people don't know there is a shooting range where you can test all the weapons and get some practice. As soon as you log into the game, when the selection menu comes up, you can go to your left and you will find the armory and the shooting range. At the range, you can select weapons to test them, and there are also some challenges you can try to beat to get better. Tip number 2. Train with bots. Whether you are a complete beginner or not, training with bots is a great way to get better with realistic moving targets and to get used to more mechanics of the game. You can even select different difficulties and progress at your own pace. For the most experienced players, this can be helpful as warm-up before you hop into a game. Also, training with bots is a great way to test different weapons mods, which brings us to tip number 3. Customize your loadout. Making sure you're running with a loadout you feel comfortable with will make you a lot better over time. One thing not everybody notices at first is that you can hold your weapon sideways during the buy phase of the round to select the mods you'd like to customize it with. Tip number 4. Use utility to its full potential. I don't know how many times me personally and others I've witnessed have died with all our utility unused. Utility is a great asset in this game, so try to use it to help you and your teammates before you die or before the round is over. Also, breaching foam can be used up to 3 times, so please do not throw it away after just one use. And the healing syringe can be used multiple times as long as you wait for its cooldown, and it can be used on your teammates too. Tip number 5. Communication is essential. Yes, I know, sometimes we all feel like muting everybody in the lobby if they're making a lot of unnecessary noise. And yes, that is totally understandable in that situation. But a tactical game like Breachers really shines when everybody on the team is in sync, which can only be done through comms. Also, pings are extremely useful, but please do not spam them as they will create a lot of noise and confusion in your teammates. Tip number 6. Learn the maps and their callouts. While learning the maps will come naturally over time, using callouts for specific locations could prove extremely useful for your team's comms. If you'd like to learn the maps callouts, I have provided a link in the description where you can see images with labels on top of the maps for all the callouts that are currently in the game. Tip number 7. Noise is key. I can't emphasize enough how huge noise is in this game. If you are that player who loves to run around full sprint while trying to shoot your enemies, you might want to slow down a bit in this game. Breachers is a tactical shooter, and while running around shooting might work now that most of us are just beginning, as time goes on and people get more knowledgeable about the game, it would probably be a lot harder to get away with it. Crouching is a great way to avoid making so much noise, but beware of peeking while crouching as the enemies might see you coming before you get to see them. Tip number 8. Use movement mechanics to your advantage. One of the greatest things about this game is that it allows you to physically lean in-game. For those of you who played Rainbow Six Siege, you might already know how advantageous this is. Leaning is a great way to pick or hold an angle while minimizing how much of your body is exposed to your enemy. The way leaning works in Breachers is, you must stay in place without touching the joystick in your controller, and then lean or step to the side in real life. There is also a visual cue in-game that will allow you to check whether you are leaning or not. If you look down at your feet, you will see there is a white square that represents the center of gravity of the player model in-game. Bear in mind that as soon as you move using your joystick, this square will be recentered to the position of your headset. Tip number 9. Be aware of your environment. On the attacking side, make sure you check all points of entry before you decide your strategy. As you get closer to one or both sides, make sure you clear corners and check for proximity sensors and trip mines. On the defending side, be aware of your teammates' positions and their defensive setups, as well as the possible breaching entrances marked by an X. And finally, tip number 10. The economy is really important in this game. As you probably already know, this game has an economy and a buy phase at the beginning of the round. During the buy phase, you can check the loadout of your teammates on the left-hand side of the selection menu. Make sure you know what the team's plan is and do not be afraid to save during one round if needed. Forcing a buy every single round while on a loss streak may cause you to keep losing, while saving may cause a momentum shift. Just make sure you discuss it with your teammates and decide together what the best option might be. Well, that's pretty much it, guys. So these were 10 tips to help you get better at Breachers VR. I hope you enjoyed this video. Now I would like to ask you, what are some things that have worked for you to get better in Breachers? Please leave a comment if you'd like to let me know. And if you found this video helpful and would like to see more content like this, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel to help me and my channel grow. Thank you so much for watching. Lynx out.